I'm very aware that within the next couple minutes, some of you guys might be sprinting down to the comments section to give me crap for this, but I'm just going to say it, and then we might be done and over here. But I do have reasons for this. This here is the greatest boss fight in Batman Arkham history that, quite frankly, never should have even existed in the first place. Now, what do I mean by this? The Mr. Freeze boss fight is regarded by many of you as the greatest boss fight in the entire Arkham franchise. And honestly, I cannot even disagree with you necessarily. I put it in the top 3. Where specifically in that top 3, I'm not 100% sure. But this is definitely the greatest boss fight that should never have existed. And I'm going to go into a couple different reasons why in this video. But before I do, I just want to say make sure you guys subscribe and make sure you guys turn on the notification bell so you get all notifications for when I upload. To put it simply, this boss fight was unnecessary added drama. If you remember earlier in the game, we literally are in Penguin's museum, and there we find out that Mr. Freeze has been captured. And we go into the museum, we save Mr. Freeze, and we help him retrieve his suit. So that already is a determining factor that we should be seen as a good guy in Mr. Freeze's eyes. We are helping him, we are allies, and we are trying to team up together because we have a common interest. We need this cure to save Batman's life, to save Joker's life, and we need to get Mr. Freeze a suit, let him get to the GCPD, so that he can work on this cure. So everything is going smoothly here. The problem arises is when after we're done with the Ra's al Ghul boss fight, and we make our way back to the GCPD. All of a sudden now, Mr. Freeze for some reason decides to start pulling rank and telling us, hey, you have to go save my wife first, otherwise I'm not going to give you the cure. Now, I'm sure at this point you guys have played Batman Arkham City, especially if you're watching this video, but it's come to find out throughout the course of this fight during some point, Harley Quinn snuck into the GCPD and took the remaining leftovers of this cure. Because remember, there were 2 vials. One of them was destroyed by Mr. Freeze, the other one has now been taken by Harley Quinn. Now, because of the fact that, Mr. Freeze decided to do this fight, that kind of gives the game a reason as to why we have to go to the steel mill later on to chase said cure. So it kind of feels like extra filler added to the game, but without a whole lot of, detail in return. However, what I will kind of say is that this boss fight is amazing, so I can absolutely forgive, Rocksteady for doing something like this just to give us extra content, just to give us another boss fight. However, at the end of the day, it still doesn't change the fact that the boss fight was completely unnecessary in the first place. Now, I understand the counter argument to this is going to be that Mr. Freeze is willing to do whatever it takes to keep his wife safe, and that's all he cares about. And when he found out that, Nora has been taken, then he wanted to do whatever it took to get Nora back, and was even willing to start fights with Batman in order to get this. That could potentially be true. I would like to see some type of character development for Mr. Freeze outside of just Nora, because yes, I understand that's his goal. He's trying to save his wife who's dying of cancer. I absolutely understand that. However, I also do think it would be a good idea in any type of Batman scenario where Mr. Freeze is involved to branch him out a little bit and maybe give him, another type of personality trait outside of just his wife. And I'm not saying him caring about his wife is a bad thing, but maybe he needs something else to care about as well, or maybe something that, gives him a little bit more personality, and it could have given us another reason to have this boss fight. The boss fight in itself is fantastic, but the reasoning for it, in my opinion, is just a little bit lackluster. However, like I've said multiple times, this is a top 3 boss fight, so I will let it slide. And something else I'm kind of just thinking of now on the spot is that Mr. Freeze should know that Batman is willing to save anybody and everybody. And if this man has saved Joker from near-death experiences, then why would he not save Mr. Freeze's wife, who has done nothing wrong in all of this? He would absolutely go and save her. Mr. Freeze knows that, so I don't understand why in his mind he thought it was a good idea to pick a fight with Batman in order to get that. And in the heat of the moment, he could have just been thinking irrationally. It's possible. However, Mr. Freeze is an extremely intelligent guy, and I would think and like to believe that he would understand that Batman would help Nora, especially considering the fact that she's not a criminal. If he's willing to help super criminals and the insane, and he's willing to help everybody and anybody because he believes they could be rehabilitated, then why wouldn't he save Nora Freeze? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It feels like unnecessary, added filler, like I've said earlier, because without this added filler, then the story would pretty much be done as soon as Batman gets his cure. And even though the story would not literally be over, because he would probably go give the cure to Joker somehow, he would still go and stop Protocol 10. I will admit that the story might not have followed through as good. Maybe they tried to figure out a way to do this without the Mr. Freeze boss fight, but had a hard time going in a specific direction. But to me, this is the boss fight, in my opinion, that never should have happened, didn't have a good reason to exist. But again, this is just all my opinions, guys, so please do not take what I say here too seriously. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Should this boss fight have existed, or are you just happy that this boss fight's so good that you don't really care about the reasoning behind it? Because I can get behind both reasons absolutely. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I just want to give a big shout out to those of you who do support this channel. I do very much appreciate every single one of you. And if you want to become a member today, click the join button right underneath this video. That does entail shout outs at the end of each video, early access to new videos, as well as your own personal videos that nobody else gets access to besides you. So if you want to join, make sure to click the join button today. As well as if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe for more content, and as always, thank you so much for everything, guys. I do appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you all have an amazing day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!